Tom Savini, who's joining us on the phone now from Pittsburgh. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Busy season for you, huh, Tom?
Well, yeah, thanks, Mike, for your compliments. And, I mean, on paper, I look very busy. In reality, it's like the Army. I'm just sitting around, waiting. I'm not idle. I'm doing lots of things, but the main projects I'm waiting for is Vampirates to get off the ground. I'm sitting here growing hair like crazy. I've got a huge beard now because I'm playing Blackbeard the Pirate. You can check that out, actually, on the internet on vampirates.com.
And also, they should visit Savini.com, which is one of my favorite websites.
There's a lot of goodies on there.
You can go through your house.
Yeah, I'm going to change a lot of those pictures because the photos aren't, some of them aren't terrific, but yeah, the house, the workshop, the photo album, the cyber shop of horrors, there's a lot of stuff on that site.
People who are new to Tom Savini have seen you in From Dusk Till Dawn, which I know that had to be a blast for you to play in Tarantino's From Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn was a dream come true. I kept hoping that I wasn't going to wake up.
Pirates is the buzz. Now there's, let's get the latest updates. Is Bridget Fonda, has she been approached?
We lost our casting agency. We're getting a new one now. And I didn't know it at the time. We were pitching Eric Stoltz and Bridget Fonda. But then I was advised that they broke up. A few days later, I saw the article and saw the pictures that it's true in People magazine that they had broken up. So we can't go that route.
Yeah, might make a little tension on the set that you're not looking for.
Yeah, I mean, they were. I know them both. I mean, I know Eric Stoltz. I only met Bridget once on the movie Killing Zoe. Eric starred in that. I did his makeup and cuts and bruises and all that. And she visited. He kept talking about his girlfriend Bridget. I had no idea who he was talking about. Suddenly he introduced me to Bridget Fonda and gagging, couldn't believe I was staring at her,
Yeah, she's quite the eye candy.
Yeah.
There's been rumor that you've been approached to direct some episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is like my favorite TV show.
Now, how'd you hear that?
Because I visit Savini.com.
You mean it's on there already?
Savini Times, yeah, the only place to check for up-to-the-minute Savini news.
Look at that. I didn't know that the guy had put it on there so quickly.
There it is, man.
Yeah, I'm putting a package together right now for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right. Now, when you put a package together, what goes in the Tom Savini package when he's auditioning for a particular position on a film?
2 Tales from the Dark Side episodes. 2 of the Tales from the Dark Side episodes I directed.
Family Reunion and Inside the Closet.
Very good. Night of the Living Dead. The Resume, the Scream Greats video. The Letterman, maybe I'll throw the Letterman tapes in, I don't know.
What's it like when you go on Letterman? Didn't you light him on fire?
I set his hand on fire. Yeah, he got burned, actually. The lighter took some stuff out of his hand, and when the lighter separated from it, it flipped behind his hand where there was no protection, burned him. That was the 3rd time I was on.
Oh, that wasn't the last time.
The 5th time, I set his hand on fire again, and that time it worked, and I was redeemed.
No injuries. Very good.
No, but I've shot him. I've shot him in the chest. I've shot him in the head. But since he went to CBS, he doesn't even bring Kmart the Magician back on anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't do any of that shtick anymore. Jay Leno's doing it all now.
Well, maybe you get on Leno's show.
Yeah, well.
We'll start a letter writing campaign.
Okay, please.
Dawn of the Dead is one of my all-time favorite movies, and you played a big role in that. And I had the chance to catch up with you in New York at the last Fangoria convention, and you had your own booth, and it was great to see some of the sculpture work that you're doing of the classic Universal.
I'm working on the bust of. I'm trying to finish the bust of the Phantom of the Opera right now. Universal Studios is buying them up like crazy. They're opening up this thing called the Monster Cafe, kind of like a Planet Hollywood, but it's all Universal monsters. So one of the descriptions was a wall of busts. And if you visit the shop of horror on the internet, you see that I'm doing all the Universal monsters. I've got the Frankenstein, the Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and that's why I'm trying to get the Phantom finished. The next one is the Wolfman, but they're all on display now at Universal Studios and on the internet. But the Phantom, I was in the middle of finishing the Phantom's hair, and I said, I think I'll do a painting of this guy. And I went down to my studio and did a painting for about 3 or 4 days, and that helped me gave me some more insight into the sculpture, you know.
You had said something interesting the last time you were on the program, that you don't watch the news and you don't read the newspapers.
No.
And you've kind of created a world that suits you, haven't you?
Absolutely, and it's a happy place where no one tells me how many women died today or how many children were abused or makes me part of a continuing, like, I don't know anything about what's going on with Clinton, and because, this is a joke. The President of the United States is a joke.
Oh, yeah.
As far as everybody's concerned right now. I mean, 10 years from now, you look back at Clinton, what are you going to think of,
Yeah, sex scandals.
Yeah, I'm not entrapped by... I mean, if I'm about to go jogging, and every morning when I go jogging, I pass by all the neighbors' houses, and, the doors are open, it's summer, and every TV is on, and there's the news. They're all sitting there hypnotized by the continuing saga of the news. To me, it's no better than any gossip yellow journalism paper, Inquirer or anything else. The reason they're telling you that and throwing potato and Tampax commercials at you in between is because you're sucked in.
Oh yeah, you're hypnotized. Exactly. People are bombarded with these terrible tragedies. We lose all feeling.
I think there's a movie in there somewhere.
Well,
it's a radio show host who is desensitized by the news because it's coming at him constantly, right? And then it becomes, he's a wacko. He has to be a wacko. And then he is so desensitized by it that he becomes, he creates his own news to hear it on the... Okay, here's this flood of news coming at him. He says, I want to be in that, and part of that. So he goes out and commits crimes so he can hear about them when he's sitting there in the station.
Brilliant.
Well, no, it's a start.
Well, it'll be on your desk in about a week.
Okay, great. Well, I'll tell you what, if you... they're not going to fly you in, of course, to St. Thomas, where we're shooting.
Yes.
But if you're in St. Thomas, I guarantee that the pirates will kill you in a very glorious way.
I've been reading about vampirates, and knowing that you have idolized Lon Chaney and the Renaissance man approach to performing that he had, it seems like vampirates is really the Savini vehicle that we've all been waiting for.
Well, I'm going to use it, of course, as an opportunity to throw everything that I love in there, with fencing and in fact, the Renaissance Fair is here right now, and my good friend Tasso is running it, and he's a perfect pirate, so I might get him involved. He's got long hair, and he's my fencing partner. Maybe he can be my stand-in as Blackbeard as well. But sure, fencing, swinging from ropes, acrobatics, all that stuff. It's going to be the Burt Lancaster Crimson Pirate extravaganza. That's my influences, But usually you have the actors and you're looking for the dough. We have the dough and we're having trouble with actors, Yeah. That's the only thing that's holding us back. They were pushing Steve Guttenberg on me because the foreign distributors can raise a lot of dough on his name. And I'm thinking, well, he's to me, he's not right for this part, but if I can change him, if I can make him a tough guy, then I can maybe, if you're going to force him on me, then I'll have to make it work. I'll make him the same character from Cocoon,
right?
But now it's vampires instead of, aliens coming down and stealing old people. And in fact, they were talking to him, and he wanted $500,000.
Oh, wow.
So we got him down to $400,000. But he wanted to meet the director, so I flew to L.A. for an afternoon. I flew to L.A. for a tea with Steve Guttenberg.
Oh, boy.
And he looked great. He's very cute, he's gorgeous, he's tanned, he's physically quite fit. And he loved the idea of me turning him into a tough guy. In other words, every time he opened his mouth, there wouldn't be something funny coming out. He would be a tough guy, and he loved that approach. And then I went home, and that day, his price went up to $700,000. I must have acted like I really wanted him,
Yeah, he wasn't so hot then, huh?
Well, I think his agent probably, decided, hey, they really want you to go for whatever you can. And that would have been half the budget back then, So he's out, and now we're looking at Erica Eleniak, Christy Swanson. And for the male leads, God, we've gone through so many so far. Dean Cain, Eric Roberts, Bill Campbell, Bruce Campbell, Patrick Muldoon from Starship Troopers, and for one reason or another, and the etiquette dictates you can only approach one at a time before they turn it down or something,
How old are you, Tom?
51.
51, and I saw you do a 2-fingered push-up in New York. Where did that come from?
I've always being fit. I mean, my dad was 87 when he died, and he had black hair and muscular, and he was all his own teeth. And I'm on my way. I feel like I'm 30. And I act like it. I run every day. I work out every day, except the weekends, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm fencing. I'm keeping the blood circulating at all times.
Yeah, that'll work.
But you only age because you expect to age.
Yeah, it's more of a state of mind, I think, than if you work at it, you can keep the physicality of it out.
Oh, I won't. I'm not going to go into it because these are lengthy discussions about how the mind affects your body. But you age because you expect to age. If you don't, there have been so many experiments. A famous doctor in Boston, throughout science, has been so many experiments with the mind-body connection, and everything begins with your mindset on it. You can change anything about you any second of any day by simply changing your mindset or the way you interpret what you see.
Right.
I mean, your reality comes at you. Here's an idea. Reality comes at you through your senses, okay? You have 5 senses. Reality comes to you through those senses, through your perception. Now, your perception tells you that you are walking on a flat Earth. We all know it's round. Perception tells you you're standing on something solid, okay? But we know that this planet is flying through space at thousands of miles an hour,
Right.
So your perception tells you one thing, but what really is going on is something else. And I kind of live in another world of what's really going on,
What would be your advice for someone who wants to get started?
Well, there's no formula. I mean, if there was, then everybody would be doing it. Everybody who's involved has their own individual stories as to how they got there. I think it all begins with a love of movies. Okay, from the time you're a kid. I think I can only advise anybody who wants to be in special makeup effects. You have to photograph absolutely everything you do, put a portfolio together with those photographs, and then you got to go to LA, where every 3 blocks there's a special effects studio, knock on the doors and bug people with your portfolio.
Right.
I mean, that is really how it's done, and there are dozens of case stories that happen exactly like that. I mean, just my interns alone, every intern that has ever been with me goes to LA with their portfolio and they work immediately.
Right.
Immediately. I mean, there was a guy working for me for years who was afraid to go to LA, afraid. Finally, he left. I mean, his fears were, what am I going to do? Where am I going to live? Just go. Put some money together and just go and show your portfolio around. He went there, and 6 months later, he had an Emmy Award for Babylon 5.
Yeah. It's funny how that happens.
He is set. I mean, but every intern that leaves just my studio works.
Right.
And if it's just imagine how many are going out there a year,
Right. Now, who are some of your peers whose work really blows you away?
The greatest makeup artist in the world, of course, is Dick Smith.
Right, The Exorcist and...
Exorcist, The Godfather, The Sentinel, Taxi Driver. I mean, you name a movie that affected you, he did it, But he's also the godfather of makeup artists because he invented all the techniques that we use. Now, he's, semi-retired. He offers the Dick Smith course, which is, to me, the best way to learn the stuff. I mean, it's on my website as well. I get nothing out of that except the pleasure of recommending people to Dick Smith's course.
Right.
And Rick Baker, who did The Nutty Professor, the Men in Black. I mean, those 2 movies. Yeah, the greatest ape creator. I mean, but those 2 movies, Nutty Professor and Men in Black. I mean, he's a genius. And I was just at the makeup trade show a few weeks ago, and Dick Smith was talking about how some people are born geniuses, and he singled out Rick Baker as the one. And Rob Bottin has done some great stuff, Total Recall, The Thing, The Howling, There's quite a few makeup artists that are out there that to me are just so inspire me, But Dick is the godfather. Rick Baker is the greatest out there after Dick.
Tom Savini, ladies and gentlemen, visit him at Savini.com. It's always a pleasure, man.
Thank you.